Hi, and welcome to Design It with Tammie Gibbs. I'm Tammie, and today I am going to be showing you 5 different products that you can create using Artistly, using my playbooks, and things that you can sell on Etsy or other platforms. These are sort of low competition, trendy items that maybe everybody's not doing. A lot of one of the products in general you've probably not even heard of very much, but they are often used with like baby showers and stuff like that. But this is just going to be a 5-part video, all in one video, but I'm going to take one product at a time. So if you want to watch all of it, you can easily go in and just, watch one product and then move on. I will try to keep it segmented to that one product so that it's easier for you to watch. So I just wanted to say thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, please do. And let's get started. So I'm working with the platform Artistly. If you haven't already gotten it, it is well worth the money, in my opinion. I've been using it since fall of 23 when they first launched it. It has grown quite a bit, and recently they did a Artistly 5.0 version upgrade, or update rather. And it has so many tools for anybody that is in this business of digital product creation. I mean, you can be as artistic as you want. If you want to do really fancy surrealism in wall art, or you want to do clip art or bridal invitations, anything like that, you can create. If you're just a blogger and you just want to not have to worry about where you're getting your images to put with your articles or your blog post, then Artistly is a definite winner. It is worth every penny. I have been using it that long. I have grown my store with it. I have used it to learn, basically teach myself how to do AI art. And here I am showing and teaching all of you how to do AI art better as well. And I did all of it using Artistly. So I didn't use Midjourney. I never got on the Midjourney wagon. I happened to be exploring it when I saw Artistly, and it was a one-time payment. It was around $150, like $147. Not sure what it's running now, because I'm not sure how far in the future you're going to be watching this from when I recorded. So it is a good buy. I do have a affiliate link down in the description. It will, if you have a code, because I'm not sure, there's not one right now when I'm recording, but there may be one when you're watching it. So if you have a code, you can actually plug in that code into my affiliate link. And as of this date, that usually works. So you can even get the discount if there is one. But it normally does not cost you any more unless there's a discount floating around out there that you want to use, and then you can use it too. So anyway, enough about that and about Artistly. I'm just going to show you some things. Um, People have asked whether the updates are included for no extra cost, and they are. I have not paid for a single update. I've been in it since version 1 all the way to version 5 now. And because I purchased the full version, and you can purchase the smaller one and then you can upgrade, but I just did it all at one time. But whenever I've not had to purchase anything else. So literally, it is just cherry on top. Once you make back that money, which I made back very quickly with my products, then you don't have any. You can spend that money now that you would have been spending on a monthly for your AI generation, your art generation. You can spend that on something else. And so I think that's a win-win. But anyway, enough about that. I would not even be mentioning it. I would not have an affiliate link if it was not something I didn't personally use myself and use a lot and have made money with. So that's just my philosophy. That's just the way I am. So if you see me with talking about something and saying it's a good thing, then you know that I'm using it. I'm not fluffing. Okay, so let's go in. We're going to pick the Fast AI Image Designer, and the first product we're going to be working on is a book plate. Now, a lot of people don't understand what a book plate is. You can call it a book name sticker, whatever. So a lot of times for baby showers, now we're not going to be doing one for a baby shower, but a lot of times for baby showers, you might see them under the party decor, party items that are sold with invitations and things, because a lot of times they will have these books for baby, little cards that you can get. But a lot of times they won't have the little book plates that you could also give or put in the books that people bring and have them fill them out, which that's also a little neat add-on thing, that if you're sending an invitation and you're sending a little card that says bring a book instead of a card for baby, then if you also were selling these little book plates, then they could actually, possibly cut these out, send them with their invitation, and then the people could they could sign, they could place them inside of the book plate, and you could do it, this book was given to, rather than this book belongs to. So a lot of people will do that because they'll sign the insides of the books, so you could actually adapt it and make it where it says this book was given to, and the little child's name, and then from, so you can adapt this whole thing. So let's get started. I'm going to be using Canva because Canva is where I normally will do most of my digital product creation inside there. I find that if I talk about Canva, it's a really easy to learn. It's a little bit less intimidating than some other design programs, and a lot of people are more familiar with Canva. So I'm just going to be using Canva. So this is how we go. So if you're going to be creating these to sell, then what we're going to be doing now is I'm going to be going in and showing you what I've been playing with. So basically, I picked out I loved this when I created it for the AI Artist Playbook. This one is the color one, actually, and it was used to show color. So this is my playbook, mastering color in AI art. And so when I was playing around with the sample prompts and everything, I loved this look, and that I was able to create using this little prompt right here. So what I have done is actually adapted this to what we're going to be doing today. So let's look back in here. And I'm going to just show you some of what I've been doing. So I wanted to do something really dreamy because I'm going to be carrying this with the products. I wanted to pick out an image that would be really cute to use for these multiple products, so we're not just jumping all over the place. So anyway, so basically I created these using the basic prompt, adding, of course, the treatment I wanted as far as the style, and then replacing, and this is basically a castle, and then adapting it that way. So I was able to do this and get some really amazing images. I really looked the way that these turned out. So let me go over and show you my book plate. I've already done one of them to show you. So basically, this is a 2-inch by 4-inch layout here. And what I did was I simply uploaded my image, and I'm not getting into the whole thing of upscaling and all that today, because what I would normally do is, before I would sell this, I would upscale this image, and then at the end, I would actually go back and upscale and turn into 300 DPI my final product before I went to, you know, um, put it in so people could purchase it. So I would work on the quality aspects after I got through with the designing and everything. So basically, I would upscale before I uploaded so that it's in a good quality to start with. And then after I download it, then I would run it back through and I would turn it into 300 DPI maybe upscale it again, just to get really good quality. So that's all up to you. But anyway, so basically I took this image, and we're just going to put it like here. I took this one and I just, here, let me do a different, let me go back and we'll pick out another one. Now, because of the what I'm actually doing with this and using it with the book plates, I would select those that had a little in front of it. So have the castle in the back. So let's do this one. And we'll just go back in here. And what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to copy this one. Now, this will save you a little bit of time, because if you wanted to just use this same label so that it is consistent, then you could do that and you wouldn't have to replace all of this. And then, if you're doing this as your sample image or whatever. Now, I would suggest, if you're going to sell these, offering them as both a template, and then you could also do them on like a sheet and do them all plain, like a set that they would just print out as a PDF, and then they would actually write in their names, because that way somebody could give that as a gift. They could continue to print those and give them away for gifts if they didn't want to go in and actually go on to Canva and do all that. You actually could set it up into like a PDF, and then they could print it on a sticker sheet. They could use their Cricut to cut it out, or however they wanted to do that. And so you can offer them both ways, or in one listing have the two ways, and then offer the template so that people could go in and personalize them and then print them the way they want them. So that's just some tips on doing the book plates. I actually, before digital products were a big thing, I actually sold book plates on eBay many years ago, and I did vintage look book plates. I sold a lot of them, but I did the actual personalization. I printed them out and then mailed them, shipped them out and everything. So this is, sort of the way that has evolved, that now you can actually offer it as a template, offer it as, whatever. So anyway, so what we're going to do is we have duplicated this that I had already worked on just to save time. Now, this image, of course, was different, and I actually removed the background just inside Canva, because this was, a lot of times if I'm just working with one or two images like that, I will just do it quickly in Canva, and if it removes it really well. Now, I did doctor it because I didn't want this, so I went in to edit here and used the magic eraser, and I just basically erased that little whatever that was. I didn't do it like that. Let's go back and let's do this. It worked for me earlier. I think I tried to do it. If you just do it like this, it should work. Okay, so there, that worked. Okay, so then what I did was I wanted it to be kind of straight, and so I straightened that image up, and then you see the results here. Now, this is our copy that we duplicated here. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to upload this new in our little series, because all of these could be put in the same thing. You could have multiple designs that you offer. And so this would go right along with it. It's from the same pack basically. And then what I would do is I drug it, but see, it cut off some of it. So then you can go back and you can adjust. And I think this actually is kind of cut off anyway. So that's just the design of it. So then we have this. We already have this. It's already in a good spot. You could, if you wanted to, you could group this little thing right here, and you could bring it up a little bit. But then you have basically, so what you could do is you could flatten this image, the from the library of, if you wanted to, or you could leave that open where they could, put this book belongs to, if you wanted to do it that way. And then you would just make this where this is these two things where they're editable, but you could do your full image back here where this could all be flattened. How do you flatten? Because some of you may be new. So if you're on Canva and you go to download, um, what you would have to do if you wanted to flatten this image is I would make a copy of it. This is how I normally do it with my invitations. I would remove what I don't want to be, oops, let's, okay. I would remove what I don't want flattened. Then I would go over here and we can go to download, and I would click here, go to current page. So that's the only one that we're doing. I would done and then download. And then what you're going to get is just this. It will all be together. It won't be where this will move, so it'll be flattened. And so they won't be able to make any edits to this. You know, this will all be one thing. So they can't do that. They can't dissect and use the castle and use the label separate at that point. So you have to determine if that's what you want to do or if you want to make it more flexible. Okay, so then you would re-upload this image. And now it's all together. And then you would put it back in here. And we just have to, there we go. All right, so now it's back in here. And now you'll notice that it's not two pieces, it's not multiple pieces anymore. It's all one thing. So that's how you do that. Okay, and then what you would do is you could go back up here. You can copy these, group them, and right click and copy. Then take it down to your solid background here. And you would just do this for each one of them. I mean, you could do it where you saved multiple and did all of them at one time or whatever. But here you would just put this back like this. You could ungroup them, and then the background would be solid, and then these items would be editable if you wanted to allow them to be editable for your buyers. Okay, so I think we've covered the book plates pretty well. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to go in, and I'm going to show you how we can go further, and we can kind of, you know, we could edit like the colors. I'm going to go into the mastering color, and we're just going to go into some of the colors here. Okay. This is just some of the wonderful things that are inside the color playbook. And we're going to see some let's go to some of the color palettes here. Okay, so one of the things that it actually does is it gives you so let's see, soft palette of sage. Let's see, let's do this. This is a soft palette. I'm just going to grab this one out because that'll make it faster. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go in, and this is just going to also be a little bit of a color workshop and show you how you can add different color. And so we're going to leave the pearl but change the pink, and we're going to add the soft palette of the sage green, faded peach, warm cream, cozy earthy aesthetic. We're going to add the iridescence, and then we're going to see what that does as far as changing the look of our castle. So this is just to show you that you can use color to change the whole look of your prompts and your images. Look how pretty that is. So if we wanted to, let's do 4 of them. And I'm not sure I showed you. This is the setting that I'm using. I'm using the Dreamy Invitation style. I showed you the end results, but I did not show you what I'm using. And these are under the AI Art Illustrator featured styles. And so I am using this Dreamy Invitation style. And I did not. Now, look how pretty. Okay, so let's just say, and I'm sort of adding this one along because y'all know I can't help it. Okay, so if we wanted to, we could also, these are really pretty. So this would make a really, really pretty, like sublimated coaster or something, and then put a really pretty, like if you were doing kind of more the storybook look, like a little tea party kind of look. You could use this image for that in the square version. We're going to regenerate in the version that we should have done for the book plates, which is the 3-4. And we're going to do 4 of those. But another thing that you could do is you could do a sticker to go along with it, because you could group the product to get, you could do the book plates, you could do the little stickers, and you could even do note cards and make that kind of a whole little pack. This is better. So you would just generate the ones so that you could add, what you want to it. Another way that you can do this, and let me just show how you can do this. Let's just say you love one of these images, but it doesn't have enough room to put your writing inside of it. So let's just pick this one. Let's go back into our book plate. Let's go back into this and let's upload the file. And I'm going to show you how to kind of do that too. Okay, so if you go and you drag it in and you see that it's not going to work the way you wanted it to, actually, that went into the background, so it did away with our, oh wait, never mind. I need to go up here. Let's go up here where it's all separated. Okay, let's do this. Let's copy this one. That's why it did weird. Okay, now let's drag this one into the background. We can drag it up. Oops. We can drag it up. Okay. I want to get it like this and like this. So basically we can adjust our image, and we would adjust this down. Adjust this down. Okay, so that's one way that you could work with it. Now, of course, this doesn't really match with this, so let's take it over here and see what we can do. Up here in Canva now, where it has the pink and it has the green, we could select this more burgundy look, and it matches a little bit better, but let's just say then we go over to edit and go through these, and then let's choose this one. So we could actually lighten this up a little bit and make it match a little bit more. Now, actually, there is some pink, so you could leave some of the pink. You could even do this as a peach color and go back and play with it. So you can really work with it on Canva and get it the way that you want it. Another way that you could use this one, if you didn't want to do that, and like I said, you have to kind of work with the flowers and everything and the shape of it. Okay. Another way that we can do it, and I'm going to copy this one, is we can actually pull this image down and use it as it was, just like this. Okay. And then you're going to see that we have the bottom down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to layer it. We're going to grab a shape. We're going to put this shape right here at the bottom. We're going to turn this shape into, we're going to go down here to our colors and see all photo colors, and we're going to turn it into a really dark, like the black, or let's position it backwards. Okay. So the shape color, we can do like a dark green to kind of match with it. It kind of matches the leaves right here. And then we can, go back in here and we can go back over here. We can go here. Change the colors however we want to. We can make them. We can use the filters in the different ways. It just really depends on how you want to make it look. Or we could go in and we could remove this completely and make this bigger. And this is another really cool little look that you could do. You can copy this. Let's just duplicate it. We're going to flip it upside down. Okay. We're going to go like this. And we have created a whole totally different design here using the same pattern. Let me sort of push it out so you can see what it looks like. And then we're going to go back in here and we'll change this color to white, or I think white looks pretty good. So then we have a very lovely, we could refine it more. We could add a little box, like a little line here. Like this. And we could turn it into black and have a little strip right there. And another one. And put it right there. A band. There's so much you could do. You could put a black outline. So I hope you've enjoyed this part of the video, and now we're going to move on to more products. So the next product we're going to be doing is a kids calling card. So let's just go back into Artistly, and we are going to go back to our castle, and we are going to try to, let's just use this one. And okay, so what we're going to do is go back into Canva here. We're going to, I think this may have been the same one I had before. Yes, it is. Okay. I must really like that particular castle. But anyway, so we're going to play with this. So we have a lot of different castle images. And actually, I'm going to use this one because it shows the full castle. And then I'm going to try the background remover. Okay. So this is kind of how you can do this. And you could remove the background and use that castle. Okay, so do you see what I just did? Do you see that right here there is a hard line? Let me show you. Hard line right there. So because of that, what we're going to do is we're going to pull it all the way down to here, and then we don't have that hard line. We have the hard line against this side, and then now we can go up, and we can go over, and then pull it back down again. Okay, so we have this. Okay, so we have it like this, and we're just going to say we're going to say Samantha, okay? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to think about how a normal mom, if they were looking at this, you have your home printer, ink is usually expensive. So while I love the really dark backgrounds and stuff on a little calling card, now this is actually the same size as a business card. So a mom could buy one of those packs that have the perforated lines, and they could buy a whole pack and they could print these out for their kids. So keep that in mind. So we want to make it as easy as possible for them to use these little cards. And what would they use them for? What is a kid's calling card? Or a, whatever. Well, kids often go to birthday parties and stuff. So a lot of times moms can use these little cards. Instead of signing a card, they can say, they can just put the card with the gift, and it just has the kid's name, and that's basically it. Now, you could do other, like if the kid has, you want to put the address or something on there, you can do that. But I would leave that sort of as a template so that they can create however they want to. This is going to be a templated product, so that the parents can go in and they can put their child's name, and they can put whatever information they want to. So right now we have let's just say we're going to do an assortment of calling cards, and this little girl loves princess things, so a castle. And so one of the ways that we can also do is we can take this, and we can actually go and kind of do this with it, remove the background, and I'm going to go into the edit. I'm going to go into the magic eraser, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of try to see if I can kind of go around this. Now, it's not going to be perfect, but I'm going to kind of try to go around here and erase, and then I'm going to go back in. Now, so why did I do that? Well, I mean, just to give you some variety. So if you really like this pattern and you wanted to, you can actually go back and make it. We could even just do it like this and not even bother with the magic eraser. I'm trying to show you how you can. A lot of people don't think about using bits and pieces of their art in different ways. Cutting out pieces. I do this all the time. I cut out pieces, and then now let's send this to the back. Okay, so now we have the we have our castle here, and we have this background, which is floral, which might not be a normal. You might not think that's kind of a normal way to do that, but let me just show you. Okay, so this is a different thing that you can do. So let's just say then we take in and we grab a shape. Okay, we're going to take this shape, we're going to put it over the pattern and behind the castle. And we are going to change the color to now white. We're going to add a little tiny bit of no, we're going to leave it the way it is. We're going to move this to the back and then forward. Okay. And this would also be really cute if you wanted to, and I'm going to search and see scalloped frame. Okay, so here's some scalloped frames. We're going to look for free ones because we don't want to use anything on Canva that is not free. Okay, so let's just say this one actually looks cute. So let's do it. It would actually work with our thing. Let's change our thing here. Okay, so I'm just trying to show you these are design elements, design things you can do. Now this one, okay, so that's not going to work well because I don't think we're going to be able to get it to line up, or maybe we can. Okay, so let me group this, and then let me, whoops, thought it was grouped, but it wasn't. Okay, we're grouping, and then let's do it like this. Okay, I'm not sure if you caught what I was doing, but it was kind of too small for what I wanted to do with it. So anyway, if we wanted to do this, then we can send this backwards, have the castle like this. We could even change the color now to white, and this one to white. Not what I meant to do. Okay, so let's ungroup. Let's do this one, change it to white. Okay, so give me a second. Okay. Oh, now I realize what I was doing. Okay. Now we can turn that one white. There we go. Okay, so now we've got our scallop little frame, and then we have our castle that we can do, and then right here we can put, and this is an impromptu, on the fly kind of a design, so take with it what you want, but we can take now and we can put Emily Johnson. And then we can play with what font style, just to show it. Because really and truly, they'll be able to change that to whatever type of font that they want. This will just probably be more for an example for your, you'll take one to use with your mock-ups and everything. We could change the color here to a different color. We could do that sort of that lavender color. So if we wanted to change the color, we could go down here and change it to this color. We could grab another color out of the picture. We could do the green, the hot pink. We could do, like I said, that color, or we could go back and just do the white. So that gives you kind of what you can do. Now, you could also apply like a texture, in the background, like instead of here, let's make a copy of it and let me show you. Whoops. Let's duplicate this one, and then I'm going to show you some different ways you can do it. So obviously, you don't have to have the background. You could just do it like this. You could also turn it into, let's go back to here. And you could just you could do this one, and you could do it like this. Now this would take up more ink, but you could do it like this. And you could actually, I think we can duplicate this one, and then we can let's see how we could use this. Maybe cut it down like this. And then nope, don't like that. So we could leave it like this. Okay. So what I would do if I were going to use it like this is I would put the name here. And then the background, I would just go into the image and I would do away with this, do away with that, and then I would just maybe do something like do white with a little outline or something like that, or maybe do so as you see, there are lots of different ways that you can create these cards. So you could imagine that if we were doing for a boy, you could do sailboats, you could do sporting goods things. We're just going to concentrate with one today because it'll be much faster that way. But anyway, there's lots of different ways that you can design your cards. And then, like I said, this is more or less going to be a template that you could do. Let's try something else. Let's try doing away with this and these, and just having the floral background, and then you could do this over the top and lay it in. I didn't go in and do that, change that yet. So, and then you could make the name a little bit smaller, and there you've created even another little thing. So work with your patterns, work with your different components, and use your imagination, because obviously it needs to be your original work. So these are just some ideas. Another thing is using your transparency is also a really cool thing that you can do. You can dial down your transparency and have the other stuff in the background. You could have just, a solid thing around the writing. Lots and lots of things that you can do. Okay, so let's move on to our next product. And our next product is going to be a pillow transfer. So moms can go, anybody can go and buy at Walmart or something, these 8.5 by 11 basically, or 8 by 10, I'm not sure. But this is based on an 8.5 by 11, I believe. So anyway, this would be like a little transfer that they could do personalized pillowcases. Like you could get a plain pillowcase. They could buy these little transfers, and then they can make these to go on their kids to iron on their kids' pillows. To make a personalized pillow. These would be great to take on vacation, in the car, or, just for their bed or whatever. So there's a couple of variations on this. So what we could do is, like, for instance, if you're only wanting to do a size to do on the little band that's on the very end, then of course you would adjust and it would be more of a strip. Or you can do this where, you put it in kind of the center of the pillow, and then they probably would flip it over to lay on, because unless you're doing sublimation. Now, if you're doing sublimation, if somebody has sublimation and they want to do it, it'll be soft. But, you want to make the transfer in a way that they can do that. So these can be done a lot of different ways. Like if you want to outline them, and I'm going to show you that as well, you kind of do them more like a sticker design, where they maybe have a scallop or they're a circle or something. And then you don't have the rough edges and stuff on it. So let's just say we're going to do let's do a round one first. We're working with an 8.5 by 11 sheet here, and I'm just going to show you how you can do it this way. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we are going to get our shape here. I'm sorry. I said I was going to do round first, didn't I? Okay. So we're going to do our shape here. We're just going to put this as our shape. And we're going to make it transparent, but we're going to do an outline around it. Okay. So now we have our little circle. Now what we're going to do is we are going to go into Canva has frames. We're going to select the circle, and we're going to make it fit our little shape here. Okay. Now, so what we could do is take our uploads, and let's just say we want to stay with this theme here with the castle. So what we can do is drag it down where it fits, and then we could go, I'm just going to go over here and copy just because. Hello, kids calling card. Okay, let's do Emily again. I'm just going to go over here into this other file, pillow, and then we're going to paste Emily's name, and we're going to put it right here. We're going to make it white. We're going to do the effects, and we're going to do black so that it stands out. And then we're going to do it like that. Okay, so now we have Emily's personalized pillow thing. So this could be put in the center of let's just imagine that it is we're going to select all of this, group it. Okay. And then here we're going to just mimic actually, I'm going to go in and show you how it would look. Let's see. We want a mock-up. So let's go to the apps. Let's go to my apps and go to the mock-ups. And then we're going to look for a pillow and show you how we could mock it up. So here's different things. Let's see, home and living. I think it would probably be under there. Let's find a pillow. Now this is I'm not probably going to be able to show you the kind of pillow that I was talking about, but we're going to use this one just to show you how cute you could do this. And people could do this too. They could do, you can buy those little pillows, and that would make good travel. These would make good travel pillows. Just they make the cover that you can put the sublimation, the decal on, the transfer, whatever. And they make those that just zip up so you can put a regular pillow in it, and then it's just a little case that zips up. So that would be a really good product. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go here, and what we're going to do, it's all grouped together. So what we're going to do is we're going to download this. And again, I'm not doing any of the upscaling and all that stuff that you would want to do, but I'm just going to select this. And then I'm going to select transparent background because we want this to be a round circle with no white around it. So you have to click on transparent background here. Now we're going to download it as the PNG. And then we're going to go back over here to our upload tool. And we're going to upload that file. And you'll see that it made it just this circle here. So now what we're going to do is we are going to drag this over into this mock-up, and you're going to be able to see how that would look on a pillow. So here, we've got the round part here. Now, what would this doesn't look exactly, it took the shape out because I used that particular thing. So what I'm going to do to show you now is go into the elements here, and we're going to look for pillow. And we're going to look here, and we're going to find, now here is a bed pillow. Okay. Now it doesn't have the little pillowcase little strip on it. It doesn't have that, but it will work for our purposes. So if we were going to also do we could background remove this, and then we're going to add a page here. Do this, remove the background. We're going to go to the uploads, and we're going to put this in here. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of make our mock-up here and show how it could look in the center. Now we're going to group it, and then we're going to make it bigger so you can kind of see how you could do that and how it would look if you put it in the center like that. How cool, right? Okay. So most people are not going to want to do the whole entire pillow. So, what we could show potentially is we could go back into the elements, and if we wanted a particular color, like if we wanted it to show on a blue pillow, we could instead, we could ungroup, and then we could take the image, position it to the front, and we could show them how it would look on a colored pillowcase like that. So, of course, we need to go out like this. Okay, so that's how that would work. And then now let's go back up and let me show you how you could kind of design. We were talking about making it where it was just the strip that would go down, and how you could make something really cute to go on the bed. So let's just say we're going to use this as a throw pillow, and you wanted to do a pack, perhaps. I'm just thinking outside of the box for like a little girls group. This is going to be more than 5 products. But anyway, this is another idea that you could use. So we also have like more of a sign for like a door sign. So, you could actually use this same design and turn it into, okay, all right, there. We could turn it into a door sign. Somehow this cut out on the edge, and I'm not sure how it did it. You'd have to work and make sure that's not done that way. Okay, so let's just say we want to make a door sign. We want to make something that says the name, but you're kind of doing the whole thing. So basically what you would do is just remove, we would ungroup it, pull this out, pull the circle away, leave the Emily Johnson, And then we could actually go back to our uploads, go back to this image. Well, that's not the one we used. We used this one. And basically you just drag it in here, and here you have like an 8.5 by 11. You could make it bigger or whatever. You could put her name here. You could actually even potentially, let me show you a little trick here. Okay. So if we wanted to put her name up here, but we don't have enough of this, we can go in and we could potentially take it over here to Magic Expand and see if it will expand it to the whole page, and if it'll give us a little bit more dark at the top. And I'm not sure it will, because sometimes this works and sometimes this doesn't. And I'm going to show you a manual way to do this as well. So these are just some AI things. Okay, it actually did exactly the way I wanted it to. Done. Now we have more room towards the top that we can use. We're going to go out like this. We're going to go up like this. And we're going to drag her name up to the top. Emily Johnson's room. Let's do just Emily's room instead of Johnson. So you could put it there. You could put it here. And move this up here like this. You could put it here. Make it bigger. You could put it out. People could decoupage this on a piece of wood and, do the little holes and put a bow and ribbon up here. There's a lot of things you could do with this. And those are things that you could actually showcase to market it. Like you could show it being used that way. Like take it, put it on a piece of 8.5 by 11 or an 8 by 10 piece of wood. Take some decoupage, the finish that you decoupage with, over the top of it, the Mod Podge, over the top. And then, like I said, drill some little holes on each side. You could laminate it and use it that way. A lot of different things that you could do. You could even, if you didn't want the night look on this, then you could take it and remove the background. And, you could have it like this. Or pull it down like this and then move it up here. I would probably do reverse the colors if I were going to do that. So let's take it back to where it was. I like that. Okay, so we've basically done two different products there. We've moved all the way from the pillow art to the wall art. So you could essentially do a whole pack, like the room sign, the hanger on the door. You could do the pillowcase, and so you could do a whole pack, of accessories for a little girl's room or whatever. You could even do, and this is something just, again, more than 5 products. I just can't help myself. But anyway, so let's envision what else we could do with this pattern, this image that we've done. So what if we wanted to do a chore chart? I mean, couldn't we do a chore chart with this? I believe we could. All we'd have to do is, let's drag it down like this, and do Emily's chores. Then what we would do is we would go over the top of the flowers with a little box. We don't need pillows. Let's just, and I'm going to cheat now. You can't do this with other things. But right now, I'm going to go up to design and do chore chart. But you're not really supposed to use these templates if you're selling it. So I just want to do this for an example. So do not do this. This would be, there's not very many there. So Interesting. We're going to add as a new page. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do this little weekly chore right here. Or no, let's don't. Let's do the daily. And we're going to copy. So we're going to take this. We're going to put white. Whoops. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to move it right there for a moment, and then I'm going to go over, grab a box. Okay, so what we're going to do now is grab a shape. And I believe we're going to do it white. We're going to put that shape here. And now another idea for this would be to, let's do something else. Let's go here. We're going to go here and we're going to add a page, but we're going to, let's see here. I'm trying to figure out how to resize it. Okay, we're going to resize this one and we're going to do legal size. That is not what I wanted to do. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we're going to resize the page here. I mean, now that Canva has changed, then we're not going to do we're going to do legal size. Browse by category, print products, maybe. Legal. 8.5 by 14. Let's just do, I'll just do it myself. It's not 8.5 by 14. So that's also kind of a common, so let's just do that. Let's just take this one. And what we're going to do now is change it. Be easier to just do 14. And we're not, let's see, copy and resize. Okay. Okay. So now what we can do is we can move up our image here. And we can make it longer like this. We can take it and we can kind of center it the way we want it. Move our little, okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we will move the whole thing down here. And we're going to bring it to the front. And goodness, we're going to do Emily's chores. We're going to move the box up here, make it bigger. And then we're going to move the chore chart. We're kind of just using this as a, okay, so there we can do this. And let's get it a little bigger where we can work with it now. So we don't need the chore chart here. We're going to ungroup this right here. We're going to move this out of the way. We're going to take this out of the way. And then we're going to move this up here because it already says Emily's chores. This daily chore, we're going to move it up here. And then we're going to take this whole thing and move it and center it here. We can adjust and make sure that it's sized and aligned properly to the center. It is. Okay. And this, we're going to make sure that this is also aligned to page to the center. Okay, so now that is all centered. And we have our chore chart. Okay, this we can see is not, needs to go out on the edges. Okay, so another thing we could do, now the little daily chore chart, we're going to move it back down a little bit. We're going to group it, and move it right here. Okay, so now we can make this a little bigger if we want to. But essentially you would need to build this yourself because they don't allow you to sell from their templates, but that's okay. Then this box, we're going to see we need to do this. And this we need to kind of bring down a little bit. And there we go. This we're going to align to the center so that everything is lined up properly. So how cool is that? Now you've made a matching chore chart. And we could potentially go back and make this a sort of match. We could do it like this. And then in order to make it where you can still see really good and write on it, we could go up here. And it's got this. So what we can do is to get the same shade, we can go and make it just a little bit lighter. So it has just a little tint of that color. It's not stark white, but it has that little tint. We could also do it, pick out more of that lavender tone and do the same thing. Go up here, and then we would just adjust it until we had just the color we wanted. So that's basically how you do that. You can play around with where Emily's name is. You could make it smaller. You can put Emily's chores right there, which also would be really cute. And if you did that, then you could actually do this, group them, and then you could move the whole thing or make it smaller like this, where more of the flowers show. Really, there's just so many things that you could do. Okay, so let's count down. We did book plates. We did our pillow. Where's our pillow? Here. We did our pillow design. And we did the book plates. We did the where is our cards? Let's see. Let's go back to Canva here. Let's go out of here. Here's our, I don't know how I got out of that, the kids card. So one, the door sign is, these are the book plates. So that's 2 products that I showed you. And then we did our pillow is 3. Our chore chart is 4. And then we also did, and where did we do it? We also did the wall sign, and I'm not sure. I think I might have redone the wall sign, but so book plates, chore chart, kids calling card, um, the wall art, and the pillow. So I think we've gotten 5 items out of that. And you saw how easy it was. Let's go back into Artistly, and now we will just kind of play with, let's just say if we wanted to do stickers on top of that, let's just see how we could do the stickers. So I'm going to try and turn this one into more of a sticker. And let's see if we can do that by just adding sticker style to the front of it. And let's just see if that's going to work. Hopefully it'll put a little white trim around the outside so that then those designs could be used for stickers real easily. And that would also be something really cute to do. And you could do a pack that has the calling cards, the book plates, and then the stickers. Oh yeah, that's cute. So it actually gave it a little arch, which is also very cute. It gave it the little outline, so then you could take and regenerate these and make multiple stickers. And let's see how that turns out. And then we may do, just to see what they look like, let's try the, those are cute. Okay, so let's just look. So yes and no. This one turned out really good as a sticker. It's not like you can't use the ones that don't have the little outline, but it just makes it a little easier for the cutter and everything to work. This actually would be really pretty as a book plate. You just, make it a little larger. But I think you can still use that sticker style at the front. And let's go back because I'd really love to see what these look like as stickers. Let's regenerate it and put sticker style. And let's do 4 of them. And let's do the bigger ones, the bigger stickers. To show the shape. Okay, so that one did not do, probably because of the size of it. So those are real pretty images, but let's just go back and redo it. It's got sticker style on it. And let's just do them square. Let's do 4 of them. As I tell you every time, practically in every video when I can remember to tell you, it's trial and error. That's what AI art is all about. It's the same thing with when you're, I don't know how many artists probably would have. Okay, so this one is not doing the sticker style quite as well, but you know what? Let's go back to, let's do a little reinforcement sticker style with white border. Let's see what that is. Anyway, so back to it. So, if you were doing traditional art and you were working with paints or you were drawing, that's why they come up, they have erasers. That's why they paint over certain portions of when they're painting and doing. Okay, so this does have looks like it might have a little bit around it. Yes, it does have a very faint white border around it. So the cutter machine would be able to do this. But as long as you get your shape done, then that cutter machine can cut out. So, and also Cricut makes, like for people that really do a lot of stickers and stuff, they make a particular, setting inside the design software that they have so that you can people can make their little outlines around it. So that's not really, you need, as long as you get the little shape right, then, but these would be really pretty little stickers. And you could even add sayings on here, like, embrace the fairy tale or whatever you wanted to do, just whatever, You could add princesses. I mean, use your imagination. That's what it's all about, creating your own unique products. I mean, they're products, but then you're going to be the one, you are the secret sauce that makes your products work. So I hope that you have really enjoyed this look into creating products that you can actually sell and make money with. Look for those low competition, but highly trending products that people aren't spending a lot of time making up. Be creative, work and put little packages together, and then always be looking for those organic opportunities to send traffic to your own store. Showcase your products in groups that allow you to do it. Get them out in front of people that aren't already searching on Etsy, because that's where you're going to make your money. It's from your organic traffic that you can do. And I know that Etsy charges fees. It's beside the point. What a lot of people don't make the connection with is when you deal with Etsy or any of these other platforms, Gumroad, whichever platform you're using, those fees are taking a lot of um, the grunt work. I say it. It's like having an assistant. Um, so Etsy takes care of the um, taxes for me. I don't have to file taxes. I love that. If I had to file taxes, I might have to hire somebody to help me do that because I don't have time to create. I don't want to be doing the tax part of it. So I don't mind paying the little fee so that I put it on Etsy and I have that platform that is also. So for me and my business, Etsy, and once I actually woke up to this fact, that's when I started making money on Etsy. It was not when I was sitting there and waiting for Etsy to send me all the traffic. It was when I started generating my own traffic, going out, posting my products in different places, going out and finding my perfect buyers and communicating with them where they were at. Because when I did that, then I went from competing with thousands and thousands and thousands of other products. I narrowed it down. Even in a group, it might be 1,000 rather than 40,000, because that they would have an opportunity to see my products. And that organic may take a little bit longer to set up, but once you set it up, it will go literally years without you having to do active selling. I mean, if you keep it going, if you post things that stay out there, like a Pinterest post or an Instagram post, and it happens to just sort of flop around out there in Instagram, flop around out there on Pinterest, Facebook less likely, because things kind of, once you post them, then they get all lost and stuff, unless people start sharing them. But like Instagram and Twitter and all these places, a lot of times those posts will just Pinterest and Instagram, they will stay, and they can become popular again at any time. If somebody sees it, it's just going to kind of go around and around and around. So those can create future business for you. And so looking for those creative opportunities to create that organic traffic to your store, using things that are, give people helpful things that's going to help them, give them something free, give them information, give them, and, help them, and create your own buyer sources, your organic traffic. But use Etsy because they do have that share and save feature. I even did a video on it. A lot of people didn't know they could use that, but if you use your special link, then it's normally 4%, around 4%, that it's going to cost you 4% less if you're driving traffic than if that traffic comes from Etsy. So you get a discount. So the more traffic you drive, you get a benefit from that, because they know that you have driven traffic to their site, and that's why they give you that discount. But spend some time. If you don't know how to do all that, you're very confused with how to create visibility and traffic organically, then check out my playbook for digital product creators, because it has tons of ideas in there and step by steps on how you can begin to start transitioning into doing business that way and not depending solely on Etsy, because Etsy is up and down. They change rules. You always want to have a backup plan. You always want, if you're driving your traffic from somewhere else, you're already getting your traffic somewhere. So, more on that in future videos, but I just want you to understand that you are not helpless in this process of being successful with your digital products. You just have to think outside the box. You have to not depend on the Etsy ecosystem totally. Let it be your payment processor. That's basically what it is for me. That's the way I treat it. I drive traffic there and I get really excited when Etsy actually makes sales for me. People come in or, from the Etsy ecosystem. I sell way more that send the traffic to. But because I'm sending traffic, Etsy is showing my products because they're popular and bestsellers and stuff. They're showing it to more people. So it works all together. So, anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you've learned something. I hope you'll go forth and create some amazing products. Would love to see them. Join my Facebook group, it's free. Join my Creative Dispatch newsletter. If you don't have Artistly, my link is my affiliate link is down in the bottom, like I said at the beginning of the video. All my playbooks are pretty awesome. They've got so many wonderful reviews, wonderful 5-star reviews. I do not believe I have gotten less than a 5-star review. I really hope I haven't jinxed it now and somebody will come in and give me one that's not 5 stars, because they are good products and they help you do what you do better with prompting and creating your own original arts. Okay, so until next time, happy creating and have a great day.